Welcome everybody to The Exceptionals, where I interview different people who are exceptional in their field and at the same time impact their local community. And today I have with me none other than the exceptional Mr. George Tandy Jr.
What up, what up?
All right, so we're going to talk about his new music. He just released some new music recently. We're going to talk about the new music. We're going to talk about his career. And we're going to find out a little bit more about Mr. Tandy Jr. So, first question for you, Mr. Tandy Jr. Tell us a little bit about yourself before we get into the questions.
Well, I'm a singer-songwriter.
Okay.
I come from a family of musicians. It's like my dad plays keyboard. Both my moms are vocal coaches. All my siblings play music or they just love music. So it's kind of like the Tandy Five around there. And I'm just a regular guy. I really love the arts. I'm an advocate for what art does for people.
Okay.
Advocate for humanistic dialogue. And I write songs and stuff.
You write songs and stuff.
Yeah.
There you have it. So, in under 30 seconds, that was Mr. Tandy Jr. Just a little quick 30 seconds. So, my first question for you, what made you leap into this entrepreneurial / singer artist field?
I think, necessity, really.
Okay.
As an artist, you want to maintain a certain level of control over your work, and you also want to manage perceptions as well. And I think that there's no better way than to just take full responsibility for the process.
Okay.
Now, fortunately for me, I have partners, so it started off with just me running around trying to do my own thing and like pass out CDs with
flyers,
what I'm saying, this and this and that. Now there's a team in place.
Okay.
So
you have like a street team and media team and
it's like a digital street team now because nobody's in the sidewalk handing you anything anymore. But yeah, so there's a combination of people who believe in the work as much as I do.
That's very important.
I think necessity would be the best word, because if you believe in something, like especially something artistic, anything really, business, you're in a creative atmosphere, even if it's other types of businesses,
you have to get into it.
It's necessary to know what's happening and at least have an eye on it and some sort of hand in it,
Okay.
So
now, you said you started with necessity. So let me ask you, when you first started, what was your music's mission? And how has that mission evolved over time to the new singles that we have today?
Initially, the mission for the music was self-discovery.
Okay.
I was writing songs and playing the keyboard because it was my journal. It was a place where I felt like I had control.
Okay.
It's my world. If I say that this works, it works. I could be completely wrong, but I was basically discovering how I felt through music, discovering my own thoughts through writing, discovery. Just the mission was just, who am I? And then once it started to resonate with people, the songs that I would write would start to resonate with people when I performed, and then it started to be like, okay, well then now there's a sense of responsibility behind this. So now I see how I can influence. So maybe I can influence a type of thinking, a way of perceiving life, at least share a perspective. So the mission is really to enlighten society through art. And through my own experience, and not shying away from the difficult nuances that come along with being a human being, just filtering it all through some nice melodies and chords and stuff like that.
Make it smooth, make it cool.
Make it whatever it needs to be, just give it.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Now, through that mission, what has been the most influential factor to carry that mission?
I would say faith in myself, the wisdom to listen to others, like humility, really, persistence. It's like there's a concept that I like to think about sometimes when it comes to faith. Is like you can have faith like fire, and which flares up when things go crazy, or flares up when you're feeling good. You're like, oh yeah, I believe in myself, right? Or we can have faith like water, which is constantly flowing, constantly carving its way into new realities, and propelled by wherever our imagination takes us. So that type of faith is what keeps me going.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's deep.
You know
That's
what I'm
deep,
saying?
people. You might have to replay that a couple times to get what he just said. Now, in your opinion, what has been the most successful moment in your career?
That's a tough one. I think I really don't know. I'd like to think that it hasn't happened yet. You know, that's how I'm thinking. I'm like, the most successful moment hasn't happened yet. But thus far, the moment that stands out for me, really, I don't know if it's the most successful, but it was the most significant for me, is being able to go home to where my mom and my grandparents live and put on, they couldn't make it out to a show that I was doing in Virginia. And one of my uncles got some equipment and we did basically a little mini concert in the living room.
You brought it home.
Yeah.
Wow.
And like my mom singing along with me. That's like one of the things that I'll never forget. It's like, look at this, you know?
That's a cherished moment.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I grew up listening to her sing and watching her on stage and stuff like that. But she's just right there, just singing every word with me and stuff like that. I don't know. Everything else kind of shy. It's kind of like, I don't know.
That's a moment.
To that.
That's a big moment.
It's a nice moment.
Now, in your career, in your experience, what 3 books would you say every entrepreneur / artist / singer should read?
I wouldn't say should. I would say, whatever gets your attention, just dive in. I wouldn't say should. I'd say what got me a book called The War of Art.
Okay.
I can't remember the author. Google it.
The War of Art.
The War of Art. Really, I like how simple it is. Talks about the artistic process and what's really going on when you're trying to create things. And then there's a book called The Inner Philosopher, which I really like. I think is that book. Find a book about the music business. Yeah,
of the music business.
Yeah.
Just
all you need to. I think there's a book called All You Need to Know About the Music Business. Yeah, and they're probably on the 3rd edition by now. Yeah,
okay,
that one.
And now, before we wrap up, George, we have to talk about the new tracks. 3 new tracks. We have Darling, we have Sunrise, and of course my favorite, Already Love. That's the cool summer vibe, summer love kind of vibe. So this is my favorite. We're gonna let Mr. George talk about each track, a little bit about each track, and enlighten us.
Okay, cool. So you started with Darling, right? Darling? Darling sounds like it should be in The Notebook Part 2. Remember the movie The Notebook? It sounds like it should be in The Great Gatsby. It sounds like something like that. It feels like a classic type of romantic loyalty, you know.
Okay.
You know that you made mistakes, she's made mistakes, she's looked at you in certain ways, she's judged you, you've made mistakes, whatever, but she's still your darling. So I'm constantly saying that in the song. And it was written by my sister. And she did an incredible job.
She did.
Yeah, she really did an incredible job. And Sunrise is a song about realizing that a situationship is not going to go any further. And I call it a situationship because you haven't really committed to each other, And it came from a real experience.
Okay.
So it's a way of saying, man, like why couldn't you just let hope take over so we could see what this could be, so we could explore what this relationship might be. So the sun represents hope in the song. So I'm constantly saying
the album cover.
Right,
the sun.
The cover art for that,
yeah.
In the sun, to me it's an internal thing. You have to allow some element of hope in order to see what a relationship can be. Super Maxwell vibes. Super Maxwell influence vibes.
Absolutely.
And Already Love is it's just that vibe, you know?
Yes.
It's a very summery song. It could be a fall, spring, summer, fall song. It just feels like a drive through the city. You falling in love, but you're not quite saying it to each other. So you say, I feel like you already love me.
Yeah.
You know, and it's a nice groove to it.
It does. Nice. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Nice, cool vibe.
Yeah.
Put it back, kick back.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, Mr. George, do you have any last words for your fans out there? Any last words of advice or anything you want to say?
Well, I would say thank you, and I want to say thank you to you for having me out here.
Thank you for taking the time.
Freaking beautiful. Hopefully you get shots of this view.
We will.
Yeah,
we
good.
will.
I would say thank you, for supporting the music, and I would say be kind to yourself and each other, and believe in yourself. Just do it. Like, just do whatever it is you think you can do. Do that. Challenge yourself to do it, and challenge me. Challenge me to make better music. Challenge me, and come to a show.
Yes. Any shows coming up soon?
It's funny I said that with no shows lined up yet, but there will be.
This will be one of the venues for the shows.
Yeah, this will be cool.
So
yeah, we're
watch
working
out.
on it.
Stay tuned. Okay. So thank you for joining us in the Exceptionals. We have Mr. George here. Thank you again for taking the time. And stay tuned for more episodes of the Exceptionals and listen to Mr. George's music. You can find it on iTunes, Spotify, SoundCloud, Tidal, Amazon.
Wherever your phone goes, my music follows.
There you go. That's it. And we end on that note.